Hello, I'm Jose, and this is the Cinematic Dogma podcast. I'm joined, as every week, but not that often, my co-host and friend, Blake.
Thanks for having me, Jose. I'm happy to be here with you.
Yeah, it has been a while since we haven't seen each other, and what are we watching to celebrate this happy event?
We watched the 1991 Coen brothers film Barton Fink, the first film to clean up and win all the major awards at the Cannes Film Festival.
Oh wow, like the first time that happened?
I could be wrong, but at the very least, it was very, very rare to win Best Director and Best Actor and the Palme d'Or.
I even thought that was not even allowed at Cannes. That they used to restrict that every movie can only win one thing.
I think that's how it is now, right? Like they have to come to an agreement, or maybe that's Venice. Each film only gets one award. I don't know.
No, that's interesting. Yeah. But yeah, regardless of the credentials or like the critics' rewards, we picked this movie, and I think that this was my pick. I think.
Absolutely, it was, Jose.
Are you already giving away how you feel about the movie?
Not at all.
This early?
Just reminding
Okay.
you.
Okay. So yeah, I picked this movie. I like the Coen brothers, and I had the feeling that I watched most of their early movies, but I never watched this movie. And this is what their third movie, or
I
fourth. Yeah.
okay, fourth.
Yeah. So Blood Simple, Racing Arizona, Miller's Crossing, and Barton Fink.
Okay.
And I really like Miller's Crossing, Blood Simple, Racing Arizona. I thought that it was like, oh, yeah, these are really good. But I never watched this one. And it felt like so different, like watching the trailers felt so different than the rest that I don't know if you and I were talking about, like, oh, what happened with them? Because the last movies is now they are independently working. Neither of them are landing the plane as they used to. So that made me think about, like, oh, did I miss any of their important movies on the early days? And that's why I decided that it's like, if you haven't watched it, let's just watch it together and discuss about it.
And it's I'm looking at their first four films. It's interesting how different all four of them are. How talented these directors are at doing different genres.
Mm-hmm.
Blood
Yep.
Simple, is
Yeah.
that based on the Cormac McCarthy novel? Do you know? Or is that an original script? Okay.
I have no
We're not
idea.
here to talk about Blood Simple. And did you know that they actually wrote this script while they were filming Miller's Crossing, which is an extremely complex script. There's a ton of very complex storylines. So when they needed to take a break, they wrote this, which is a script about the writing process and deadlines and forcing creativity. And anyway, I found that interesting.
That's so interesting. Yeah, I didn't know that part. That's amazing.
So
Yeah,
I will
but-
give a summary. This film is only 35 years old, so I'll try not to ruin it.
Only. Only.
So Barton Fink, the titular character, is an up-and-coming playwright in New York, and he's just written his first, or I don't know if it's first, but the first film that
Like
where
a
he gets a lot of
success.
prestige from.
Well, not fell. Not fell. Like a stage play.
Yeah, it's a Broadway. It's not a
Like a theater
yeah, it's a
play. It's not a
play,
musical
play.
or anything. Yeah.
And he's enjoying a little bit of success in the rarefied circles of the high society of New York and
The snobbies.
the snobs. And then he's talked into heading west to Hollywood, where he can turn his success into a pile of cash. But of course, he's a snob himself and very pretentious, so he is wrestling with this decision. Ultimately,
One small
Please.
thing is that the story takes place in the early 40s.
yes, a couple years before World War II, or at least before the U.S.
Yeah,
entered
before
World
it
War II.
actually, blooded.
So he accepts a contract from Capitol Pictures and heads out to Hollywood. Because he's extremely pretentious, he wants to basically stay in Skid Row, which is important because the hotel he stays at is basically like a Lynchian character of the film. It like
he has this
surreal.
feeling that he's representing what the, I don't know, like salt of the ground kind of person is. He wants to be like the voice of the normal people, so he goes to stay at that hotel because he thinks that he will be more in the same wavelength. He will allow him to just connect with them.
His theater champions the common man. He wants to tell the stories of the common man. That's what his theater is about, blah, blah, blah. So his first assignment at Capitol Records is to write a film about wrestlers, which he finds difficult to write about, understandably so. He's advised to get advice from another writer, so he connects with a famous novelist who also sold his soul to write for the films. His name is Mayhew, who's an alcoholic and has a personal secretary that he's actually in love with and sleeping with, and he strikes up a weird, like, frenemy sort of situation with the three of them. Honestly, I don't know how far to take the plot, because they're...
No. I mean, I think that's fine. It's just basically he's dealing with the writer's blocking.
Yeah.
And it's just like how he tries to navigate that, like as a very pompous New York. I mean, not pompous, but a bit like pretentious, like you from New York.
Yeah, trying to like fit his lofty ambitions into this like decidedly disgusting Hollywood atmosphere, and it's just a series of like encounters with these Hollywood characters, not Hollywood types, but for instance, his next door neighbor in the hotel is a man named Charlie, played by John Goodman, who's just an insurance salesman. He is the quote unquote common man, and there's this hilarious scene where Charlie's like, well, I'm the common man. I can tell you stories. And Barton just doesn't give a shit because he doesn't care. He's not interested in the common man at all. He's interested in having his ego stroked.
In his vision. Yeah. So he's beyond all of that. He knows better. So he's not a easy to like character.
So the rest of the film is him wrestling with this this writer's block and dealing with the relationships that come to a different crises. And the film kind of has this hinge in the film where it goes from subtle surrealism to like, hey, we're in a dream world at this point. And
everything becomes like metaphorical.
And it's not, we don't necessarily know if what we're seeing is happening in reality or their ideas, or I don't know. And we'll leave it at that.
And it even makes you wonder if anything that you saw from the beginning even makes sense or not. If it was real to begin with. But I think that's a really good summary. So let me just ask you, did you like it?
I have a complicated relationship with this film, Jose. So first,
Had you watched it before?
No, that's what I was going to say. This is the first time I've watched it, and there's a reason for that. To be honest, I don't understand most Coen brother films. It's not that I don't understand them. I just don't think I'm the target demographic. I will say that I was definitely entertained by the film, and there were moments where I was like dazzled by what I was seeing on the film. There's a scene towards the very end. I won't give a spoiler, but John Goodman will just say is running down a hall. And I was like, this is like cinema at its finest. Like, this is just insanity. And and it's not necessarily about where we are now. It's about how we got here, right? So like I was very impressed.
I would say that is a very powerful directing. Is that all of the image that you see is that you could see them out of context is that they know how to play with the medium amazingly well. Because it doesn't feel like a 34-year-old movie.
Agreed. And what I said before the synopsis, I meant like it's a very impressive what the Coen brothers can do, switching between genres. Like I don't think a lot of directors have that the ability to just do that. But I also don't think this film is funny, and I know it's supposed to be like a black comedy. I didn't laugh at this film.
I laugh a tiny bit, but I could say there is many genres in one. It gives like so many twists along the way that it feels, and I appreciate that you share that they were writing another movie and they were doing this on the side, because it feels like they went through a writer's block and they started like just taking like wild direction, like wild tangential directions, and seeing where things would land, and just going like more and more and more metaphorical. So I think that parts of them they truly feel like a comedy, and other parts they feel pretty dark. That they go to places that is like, oh yeah, ooh, yeah, this is, I don't feel safe on this point. So I think that there is a lot of merit of being able to just, how do you say, like doing crochet with genres in just a single movie and things working more or less out.
I agree. And this was a long answer to your question. I would say yes, I did like it. That's not an emphatic yes, but overall, yeah, I was. It was compelling to me. I was curious where it ended up.
Yep.
And I enjoyed it overall. Did you like it, Jose?
I did like it, that when they, on that hinge moment, I just felt like, okay, we're going crazy. Let's go crazy. Sure, yeah, I will roll with it. And when you start like looking back, it's like, no, things were always like a bit crazy, but it's almost like someone looking at the world through their own prism and then just like trying to make sense of another world that you cannot fit it with your prism, and then just like going to other extent about like, hey, I'm going to be like starting to make everything metaphorical around me because this is the only way that I can justify everything that is happening around me.
Yeah, it's definitely like a film that you think about. Like you unpack a lot. There are metaphors everywhere. There's lots of, I mean, obviously the Coen brothers were putting a lot of their own experience and frustrations and things into the script. So, I mean, that is a huge compliment coming. I think that's a huge compliment.
Yeah. I think that it has elements that we see in adaptation. And I love adaptation.
Yeah.
A lot, but it's like how surreal it starts like just going, like at some point, and how the main character is like just dealing with this, like this should be easy, but it's the first time that I have to do it. You can see even like parts like Sunset Boulevard, like critique to the Hollywood studio system about like just churning through people as you are like just resources for just generating like what I need to produce, how we see like the writer as another broken toy that he moved, like the novelist that he moved to Hollywood for just like making a dime and trying to change the studio from inside. They say, nope, you just did see it. That is basically what the main character in Sunset Boulevard is.
Yeah, it's a place where creativity goes to die, where talent goes to be like put into this
to exploit.
Yep.
So I think that there are like a lot of elements that I feel is like, oh, this is not Fargo. That I think that is the last one that I rewatched recently. Is like Fargo is more like grounded. It's like, no, this is loftier. They are like more elaborate like concepts, and I think that there is a lot of merit on making this palatable in almost 2 hours.
I had the thought maybe 20 minutes in. It was very early on that I thought this is what Wes Anderson wishes he could be. Because there's so every frame is so considered. There's so much of a fantasy element beyond it being a period piece. It's just you're in a different world that's like you're not in our world, right? It's close.
Yeah.
It resembles ours, but you're in a different. I don't know.
It made me think on Jean-Pierre Jeunet a tiny bit on Delicatessen and the City of the Last Childs, about like how it gets to that disturbia, or Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. Yeah, so it didn't give me the vibes. I mean, the vibes on Wes Anderson, I can see it in some of the dialogues. They feel incredibly forced, incredibly artificial. I mean, on purpose. It doesn't try to be grounded or a slice of life like most of the other Coen movies.
But come on. Oh God, what is the name of the bellman?
Oh, Steve Buscemi.
When he's dressed up in that ridiculous bellman outfit and he comes out of a hole in the ground, or when the two policemen come and they're just wisecracker that have these perfect dialogues, I was like, this is what Wes Anderson wants to write like this. I mean, he does write like this. He just takes it in a different direction. But I just was like, this is Wes Anderson, but taken in a more realistic direction, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, you may be true. You may be right about that. Yeah. Cool. I mean, overall, I think that this is like a movie that surprised me. It's like I didn't know exactly what to expect, and I felt it's like, oh, this is not as straightforward as I was expecting it to be. It's smarter, almost like Lynchian to a point, that it can feel dreamlike to some extent.
Yeah, like 10 minutes in, I was like, this is very David Lynch-esque. And I was like, I think that about every film that's a little bit like off. But then I read the New York Times review after I finished, and they even said, like, mentioned David Lynch in it. And I was like, okay, yeah. I mean, at some point, like, the walls in Barton's room, like, have this weird ooze coming about it, so much so the wallpaper is rolling off. There's all these like weird surrealist moments that don't really, nobody bothers to explain away because that's not the point, right? It's just surreal.
Yep, like a bit Eraserhead.
Exactly. In fact, the main character Barton looks very much like the main character of Eraserhead.
Yeah, there is this feeling of dread that it builds up and builds up and builds up until it goes unhinged.
Yep. And
let's just leave it there.
The way they go unhinged, I think, is particularly masterful. That's all I'll say.
Yes. Let's not do a spoiler tag, but yes, I do agree with that. Right. Should we go over the questions?
Let's do it.
Okay. So, Blake, would you watch this movie, Barton Fink, again?
I would. It would probably be at least a year, but I would happily watch this again.
Gotcha. For me, I could definitely rewatch it, but also, it has to be some time in between. This is a movie that it doesn't feel like work. It's palatable, but it requires some attention.
That's a good way to put it. It's not work, but it's not an easy watch.
Yeah, let's say that it requires some from you, but it gives back.
Yeah.
Hey, would you recommend it?
Yeah, without reservation, for the most part. In fact, why is it rated R?
Well, I can tell you, but it would be a spoiler. It's like after that hinge moment, there is some comments about violence. Albeit it's not displayed on the screen so much. Well, there is a tiny bit of violence on the screen, but there is like some implicit disturbing ideas.
All right. Mostly language, we'll say.
Sorry, mostly?
Mostly language is why it has the rating.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think so. I would recommend it. Yes, I mean, probably not to my parents, but I had the feeling that it's a movie that if someone tells me, oh, yes, tell me like some movies from the Coen, it's like, I will mention this. Or, hey, tell me like a dark movie from the 90s.
You really think your parents wouldn't like this?
I don't know. I think that, sorry, this is going to sound like a bit bad, but I had the feeling that is the type of movie that for really getting the use out of it, you have to be open to these more elevated ideas. It's not only about like the face value. If you only take the face value of what is working on the screen, is maybe doesn't make too much sense.
All right, I see your point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but in any case, is that to most people that I know, is like I know that they could appreciate a movie like this. So, would you remember Barton Fink?
Oof, that's tricky because it's so Kafka-esque at some point that it's not linear enough to remember. I'm going to say yes. The overall premise of the film is not that complex, so yes, I'll remember the basics.
I will go with yes because I think that even if I don't remember all of the details, I would know like how it starts and how it ends, or at least like some of the stuff of the last act. And in the first 5 minutes of the movie, I would remember all of the story beats.
Yeah, I feel the same.
Yeah. Is there anything artistic about it?
Very much so. I didn't call this out earlier, but god damn, every single performance in this is so good. And then, of course, the direction, the production values, the script, everything about it is impressive.
Yeah. There is an incredible level of care going on this, being like such a non-straightforward movie. But it's like, hey, you guys took care of everything. Is what I was telling you. It's like some of the shootings, is I had a feeling that they are super iconic and I had never watched them before.
Yeah, there were definitely some stills where I've seen many of these and I had no idea where they came from.
Yeah, so definitely yes. Is it a timeless piece?
Yeah. There are some racial slurs that I don't think would be used in film anymore, but besides those, I think, yeah.
One interesting thing is that this is a 34-year-old movie that it was about 50 years earlier. So is that the movie takes place in 41. The movie is from 91.
Yep.
Yeah. So it actually is it's timeless. Is that we're getting close to the point that so much time happened from the setting to the movie to now.
Oh, jeez. Oh, I hate stuff like that. No,
Sorry.
It makes me feel old.
Yeah. But overall, it's like I think that is 100% timeless. I think that is like the filmmaking itself is that maybe some of the slurs or some of the wording feels a bit off. But I think that it works like pretty well. I think that the style that they use, it feels very classic. It feels like the type of thing that is, this could have been almost a movie from the 50s.
Do you think, really quick, the Coen brothers have a distinctive style of direction, meaning like you could watch a film and be like, oh, this looks like it could be the Coens?
I would have to rewatch some of the stuff. When I was watching them, I think that what I was thinking is more of a combination. It's more about like the vibe that they created and the type of, how to say, like the screenplay. I think that may be like more distinctive more than the photography, let's say.
Got it.
Yeah. Would you turn Barton Fink into a TV show?
No, I wouldn't mess with this at all.
Yeah, no, I think that this is like the right length. It's like stretching it more. I think that it would be like diluting this personal odyssey that Barton goes through.
It was what, like an hour 50, somewhere around there?
Yeah. Could this have been a short?
No. I do think they could have trimmed a little bit off, but for the most part, it's pretty lean.
Yeah, for me, I feel like some of the side stories may drag a tiny bit more than they could, but it's not something that I feel is like, oh my god, this is completely filler that is not going anywhere.
Yeah.
So. And the last one, do you think this movie could have been better?
There are no glaring issues, I would say. So my answer is no.
Yeah, same here. I think that is like the type of movie that is fine. It just works as it is. It's not something that is it could have been better if it turned into something slightly different, changing one or two things. So keep it like that. Good job, Coen. Coen Brothers. And that was the last question. So let's score Barton Fink.
This was your pick, so I'm going to score first, and I feel pretty confident about mine. I'm going to give it an 8. I'd feel comfortable at an 8.5, but let's go with an 8 for now.
Okay. I was debating between a 7.5 and an 8. I'm going to go with a 7.75.
I love when we use quarter points. I love it.
But yeah, I could see like an 8 too. You know, I think that is like the kind of movie that depending on the mood when I rewatch it, I may bump it up like a bit higher.
Yeah, I can see that.
I think that even like knowing where it's going to go and just taking it as like, oh, this is a surreal movie from the get-go, I think that it maybe even make it more enjoyable. I feel.
I think I would definitely be paying more attention to clues or Easter eggs to whatever, if they are there. Maybe they're not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. For everyone out there, thank you so much for putting up with us.
And until next time, guys.
Bye.